we've seen lots of reports, we've read lots of reports, and we've seen the statement from Nations FC with regard to what transpired in Enyinasi yesterday. You have been at the center of everything. You take us through everything that happened in Enyinasi yesterday regarding the match between Nations FC and Basake Holy Stars.
Oh, okay. Good morning once again to your listeners. We got to Enyinasi around 1:30 p.m. I left my tag with one of my colleagues, so I got to the stadium without any identity to enter the stadium. So I called one of my members to bring me a complimentary card so that I get access to the stadium. Upon waiting for him, there were a whole lot of things that I was hearing from the supporters outside, from the home team. He said a lot concerning what they had planned to do to us, that they are not going to allow our supporters entry into the stadium. So I thought it was one of those things, normal talk from supporters that when you get to a stadium, they say. So not knowing they meant all that they were saying. So I got into the stadium. We were there waiting for other management members. My team president came with his people. We had no issues. But when doctor was coming, he was held at the gate for like 10 minutes, close to 10 minutes before he was allowed entry into the stadium. We sat at the VIP section of the stadium. There were a whole lot of confusion going on. We have permission from the FA that we can cover all our matches. That is, we can film all our matches.
Okay.
On the day, we decided not to allow us to take to film the match. So our president was attacked. That is divine.
This
because
is
of that.
40 FM, the voice of sport.
Got on. It was bizarre, but upon all this, he decided to keep quiet, continue the game. But we realized during pre-match, they told us they are going to bring 70 police officers, security men. But before kickoff, we could count like not up to even 20 policemen. So we raised an alarm and we talked to the match commissioner. We told him we are unable to start the game. That was why the game delayed. But the match commissioner gave us assurance that we can start the game, but they are sending more men, so we should start the game. We started the game, but from the look of things were getting out of hand. Our supporters came into the stadium. They were sent back outside. Gate fee, which is 20 cedis, our supporters paid 50 cedis for each ticket. They entered. They were like about 47 of them. They entered. They paid, entered the stadium. They were dragged out. So from the look of things, we couldn't continue because the safety and security protocols, everything had been broken. And they breached all those protocols. So our lives were seriously in danger. So we had no option than to quit the game and leave the stadium. Because we felt we could not be protected by the small amount of police which were there. So that was the main reason why we left the stadium. Our lives were at stake. We needed to protect people's family members. Some of them are breadwinners for their families. So we didn't want what happened at Israel to happen to any of us at campaign. So we had no other option than to quit the game.
Right. Let's take it back a bit. You speak about the fact that you had the chance to have this match recorded on video, but your videographers were prevented from entering. Is that the case?
Exactly.
And then you also speak about the fact that your supporters were given a raw deal.
Exactly. The most serious part of it is when they went out, they were attacked outside the stadium.
Your supporters were attacked outside the stadium?
Yes, they had to seek refuge at Enyinasi police station.
So when all of this was happening, where were the security personnel?
They were standing there looking at it. Nobody told them. And you see, they brought in tags.
Who brought in tags?
The home team, of course, obviously from the home team, because they were in their van. The buses that the FA presented to the Division 1 clubs when they qualified to the Premiership, they were in that bus. They bussed them into the stadium. We were there. We saw all of them.
So
and they couldn't control them. They decide what to do, and they decide what should go on at the stadium at that moment.
Now, there was an incident we saw on video where your goalkeeper was in a scuffle with police officers and some other opponents on the field of play. The interpretation we got was that a second penalty was awarded by Basake Holy Stars, and that got your players furious, and they went on the offensive. Is that correct?
Did you see most of the guys on the pitch were not accredited to be there? They came from the stands, entered the inner perimeter. It was exactly what happened at Israel that we were seeing.
This is 40 FM.
But
we have to stop.
No, but just to clarify this, because it's been in the news. Was there a penalty awarded?
You see the way the situation was. I was not even privy to what happened because I was not on the pitch and I didn't see what was going on. I just saw the scuffle, but I couldn't place my hand on it. What started the whole thing? But I could see people jumping from the stands into the inner perimeter. So we felt we were not safe.
Now, you speak about poor officiating.
I've never spoken about poor officiating this morning.
Per the statement you issued.
Oh, per the statement, yes.
You speak. There was clear communication on the fact that there was poor officiating. Officials were extremely poor and fell below the expected standard. What standards are you talking about, and what was the performance of the centre man like? What were you unhappy with based on the performance he brought yesterday?
He just decided not to allow us play. Any move that we made was offside. And I can tell you, if we had played the game for even a year, we couldn't have scored from the way the officiating was going. We couldn't have scored the goal. So
the first goal you conceded, was the referee's call a correct score?
It was not a correct score. It was a dubious penalty. A dubious penalty.
Was there any point in the game where a second penalty was awarded against your team?
That was when we all got up, decided not to play again. So from that incident, I didn't see. All I heard was a second penalty has been awarded. We got up, we were just moving away, and we heard a second penalty has been awarded.
No.
But what my players narrated to me, they said it was an offside because the linesman raised to offside. And the referee awarded that penalty. So I just, they were even confused.
So that was the account of the players?
Yes,
Right. Now, before the game, knowing very well there were inadequate security personnel, contrary to what the enhanced safety protocols proposed, and knowing very well some of these things were clearly stipulated in the FA manual with regards to safety consents, safety protocols and all. Why did you heed to the advice of the match commissioner and still, went ahead to play this game when all the parameters were not met before kickoff?
I told him we are taking his word for it that there is going to be a backup. That they've really called for enough men to come. So we should start because the time was going very fast. We didn't want the night to catch up with the game so that we couldn't finish them. So we decided, okay, fine. So I told my team manager to tell him if anything happens, it will be on his head.
No.
We were in about 30 to 35 minutes into the game, but we saw there were no policemen coming, so we decided to stop the game because from the way the things were going, I sensed the referee felt unsafe. That was why he was officiating that way.
Before walking off the pitch or before deciding not to play, did you have any discussions with the match commissioner or the venue safety and security officer before taking that decision?
We were unable to talk to the match commissioner because he was taking a certain position that he verbally abused our team president.
The match commissioner?
Yes. He called our team president stupid.
Wow.
So he had taken an entrenched position. He came to apologize. He apologized to doctor.
Now, what are the remedies or some of the measures that can be taken post games? Let me finish. Normally, post games, when the performance of a referee is unsatisfactory for any team, are there any remedies that the FA proposes that a club can go through to get justice after games?
Oh, and many of them, you make a complaint to the FA, and they look at it and the appropriate sanctions are given to the referee.
So why didn't you just continue playing? So whatever concerns you have about officiating, whatever concerns you have about security and all, would be dealt with post game.
As I earlier said, we were protecting lives. Our lives were at stake, so we had to stop. We couldn't have continued.
What do you make of the criticism against your team that, well, you were league leaders, you went into a game against Basake Holy Stars, they were beating you, and you were not comfortable with the outcome of the game and decided to just run away from the game? What do you make of those who think that Nations FC deliberately ran away from the game because they wanted to avoid defeat?
It's their opinion. They are entitled to it, so I have nothing to say about that.
So what are you planning to do from this point on, post the release of your statement? What next for Nations FC?
Oh, we protested against what happened. So we are waiting for what the FA will say, and we've not complaints to the FA. So we are waiting to hear from them.
So you've made an official complaint to the FA as we speak?
Exactly so.
There's just one game to the end of the season, and are you confident that you'd get a judgment before the final day of the season? And what judgment are you possibly looking at? Are you possibly looking at the FA possibly deciding that there should be a replay, or
exactly? There should be a replay and under closed doors.
Replay under closed doors.
Yes.
Wow.
Behind closed doors. Yes.
Well,
because this thing has happened before.
Tell us more.
The year that we were qualifying to the Premiership, we went to the same venue. At that time, it was at Enyinase, called the Yewa Memorial Park.
Yeah.
At Enyinase. We went into the game. There were a whole lot of chaos. We couldn't play the game that day. We abandoned the game, played the game the next morning under closed doors, behind closed doors.
Oh, okay.
The same venue. Yes.
So, and
something they've been doing to us.
Around the same time, the game had started.
No, at that time we couldn't even start the game because all our players were attacked that day. That day was the players were the targets.
Well, a very unfortunate development, but we'll see. You've reported the matter to the FA, so we'll see what's in it for the FA. We'll see what decision the FA would arrive at. But we wish you all the best. But let's speak about your chances of winning the league. As things stand now, it's hanging in the balance. If the FA do not call for a replay, or if you don't pick maximum points from this encounter, it doesn't do your title ambitions any good.
Sure. Well, we will take a decision on that when we get to that point. So we would like to leave it for now. But for what the FA come out with.
On match day, for those who were watching the game, many of them felt that it looked like your opponents, Basake Holy Stars, played very well. They played like they really wanted 3 points in the game. Your team did not respond quite early. What do you make of those comments as well?
Have you seen a match where a referee has taken a position that he will not allow your team to play? Have you watched a game in that situation before?
And unfortunately, I haven't.
Okay. If you have, you understand the situation. The players were just unable to play. They were just being frustrated. And I don't want to talk much about the game. Let's leave it.
Right.
For now, since we've made a complaint to the FA.
Well, Nana Twumasi Dankwa, we wish you all the best, and we hope that the FA would sit on this matter and settle it amicably and immediately, so we see what happens going into the final day of the season. We wish you well. Are you still positive you are going to win the championship?
Exactly so.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I was asking if you are positive you are going to win the league.
Yeah, very positive. You are going to win the league.
Despite all the drama that has ensued over the last few days?
We are waiting what the FA will come out with. So we are very positive it will go away.
Right. Thank you very much for your time this morning, and we wish Nations FC all the best, and we hope that the FA will sit on this matter immediately and come out with a verdict in the shortest possible time. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
This is 40 FM, the voice of sport.